Hello everyone. This was a bit of an impulse buy, another terrain mat. Uh, Currently I don't have actual use for this, but in the long term I've got plans for it. More on that in the distant future. But anyway, it's from Deep Cut Studios and it's their forest map. Now I'll give you a closer view in a minute. I'll take the camera off the tripod and show you some of the detail close up. In fact, I can probably, for the time being, just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, very pleased with it. I have previously purchased a mat from Deep Cut, which I was equally pleased with, but it was very different. This is a mouse mat base to it. The other one that I bought was just cloth, and the other differences are that the cloth one was I'd got for my Dead Man's Hand games, basically. It was all sort of Western style terrain. In one of the corners there's a tiny stamp, just slightly bigger than a postage stamp size logo, which I can tolerate when it's that small, but I don't particularly like, as you know from previous videos, I don't particularly like seeing company logos on terrain mats, but I was expecting to see one on this and there isn't, which was a pleasant surprise. The other difference was just in terms of the speed of delivery. The last one I think took about 6 weeks. Deep Cut Studios are based in Vilnius in Lithuania, and yeah, the other one that I purchased, it was right at the start of the kind of COVID crisis, so maybe that had something to do with it, but it took about 6 weeks to arrive. This one was actually dispatched within a couple of hours of me making the purchase, and it only took just over a week to arrive. I was sort of tracking its progress through Lithuania and then Poland and then Germany, and I think from Germany it must have been sent by air. It arrived in Essex and then moved down to Exeter and then to here in Plymouth, so I was very pleased with that as well. It's got a kind of I'll take the camera off the tripod in a moment to show you more clearly, but there are areas that are kind of grassy, forest floor kind of vegetation, but it's obviously meant for sort of temperate forests, because there are these ferns that you can see there. To my eye, they are a little bit large, maybe. If I put my hand here, there, they might be a little bit large for 28mm, I don't know, but they're gonna, well, I won't tell you what my plans are for the mat, that's a long way off, so it's not going to influence my games too much. And then there are other areas, see if I can spot one. Yeah, I probably have to take the camera off the tripod and get it a little bit closer to the mat. But there are other areas that have got like tree roots and things like that. It's really nice. It's, the more you look at it, the more interest there is. It's not up to the standard of urban mats, I would say, in terms of they seem to be able to create a almost sort of three-dimensional effect. This has sort of slightly got it. I mean, looking at that through the camera lens now, that does look a little bit sort of three-dimensional, but not quite as convincing as the urban mats, but I am really pleased with this mat. I think it's really good. Yeah, so I'll stop wittering for a moment and just take the camera off the tripod and just sort of fly over it a little bit. Alright, here we go then. I'll just sort of wander over the area as I talk. Try and give you a bit of a closer look at it. Some of the fern areas do look fairly similar, but when you examine them closely, they are all different. So there's no kind of repetition of any area on the mat that I can see, which is another good aspect. I don't know whether that, yeah, it probably is sort of like a leafy, dead leaf kind of pattern on it. When you first sort of look at it, it does seem quite dark, but the more you look, the more variation in colour there is. I have to admit that I'm looking at it now from your point of view through the camera screen, and it is quite attractive, I think. This is ideal for what I've got in mind, but I'm going to, as I say, I'm going to keep that a secret from you. So I don't want to kind of commit myself to something that's going to take me a long time to accomplish. So this is just going to be a review of the mat, which I've kind of done now. And I wander over the forest floor. Yeah, the more I look at this, the more pleased I am with it. Anyway, that's it. Forest mat from Deep Cut Studios. Thanks very much for watching.